Most people think discipline is a punishment, but nah. Every time you break that promise to yourself to wake up early, to hit the gym, to literally do anything you told yourself you would do, it's you saying you don't respect yourself enough to see it through. And that's the problem. That's why you can't see your visions through. That's why you can't see your goals through. Discipline isn't about motivation though. It's about identity. Because if you truly respected yourself, you wouldn't even allow yourself to break those promises you made. Because if you were truly congruent within your identity, then nothing would break that. So motivation is not needed when you're disciplined. You do the things you don't want to do, even when it hurts, even when you don't want to do it. And I think those are the reps that truly matter. And truly being disciplined, that's not a restriction on yourself. If anything, it adds on to your life. It adds value to you and what you do, what you offer. Because you're telling yourself, hey, I'm able to get up and do this even when I don't want to. There's nothing at stake but me keeping my word to myself. And I think that adds tremendous character and shows tremendous character and creates value within you as a person. Like, for example, I wake up at 5 every day. I genuinely do not like waking up at 5. I go to sleep late and I wake up early. And I could improve that. I definitely could. But the discipline of it is what gets me through it. Waking up at 5 allows me to have a more productive day. A productive day than me waking up at 7 a.m. I could wake up at 7, get to work a little later, and leave later. But then I wouldn't have time to read in the afternoon. I wouldn't have time to study, work out, talk to my friends, do anything, So find out what motivates you. Use your goals as a basis to build your discipline on. And discipline isn't something you build with a hammer and a screwdriver. You don't tape it together. Like, this is something you shape and craft intentionally daily through your actions. Nobody else sees the work you put in except yourself. So ask yourself, am I worthy of seeing my visions through? Am I worthy of what I think I'm capable of? Because God would not have given you these visions if you were incapable of seeing it through. So at the end of the day, ask yourself, am I worthy? And the answer is yes, you are. Now, here's how a lack of discipline can tear down your confidence within yourself. With the same example I just gave you about myself, I wake up at 5 daily. Now, the inverse. Let's say I tell myself I want to wake up at 5 every day, but I don't. I wake up at 6:30. Now, not only did I keep my promise, or did I not keep my promise to myself, everything that I would have benefited from me waking up at 5 is no longer there. I wouldn't be able to read as much in the afternoon. I wouldn't be able to work out. I would have to start making sacrifices. Now tell yourself, is what you're willing to sacrifice greater than you keeping up with your discipline? Because like I said, discipline is just how bad you want it. You can be motivated, but motivation only gets you so far. Discipline is you intentionally building those habits day in and day out when you don't want to. Like I said, how bad do you want it? Would you trust yourself, or would you do business with someone who doesn't believe in themselves, who doesn't follow through on their promises? I don't think so. Because in corporate, if you aren't able to follow through on your business goals or what you're hired on to do, they're going to let you go. Or you're going to get reprimanded, one of the two. Who knows? But that just means you weren't disciplined enough to see your goals through. And confidence is absolutely not arrogance. It's proof that you're able to keep your word. Would you want someone around you who is dishonest, who's untrustworthy? And this is not from a perspective of using people, but rather, what do you gain from that? Genuinely. What do you gain from having people you don't trust? A fake friendship, a fake circle, having people who you don't actually like? Now think of the inverse. Would you want to be that person to someone else? Would you want to be kept around knowing you weren't trusted, but you're there just for vibes? Like, is that really what you want in life? Think broader, think bigger. Now here's how you can turn your discipline into a new identity. Here are the 4 steps I use in order to turn discipline into a new identity. And here's how you can implement it within your lives. Step 1, make micro promises to yourself. Once you start doing the smaller things in life that you say you're gonna do, it builds up. A daily win is a win, period. Even if it's a small win, it adds up. You tell yourself you're gonna drink a gallon of water a day. You know, that's a gallon. It can be a lot for some people, and for others it's not much. But if that's what your goal is, see it through. 1 gallon a day. And make it manageable. Drink some every hour, drink some every 30 minutes. Track it, mark it. The goal is to have a system in place that allows you to finish that water. Even if it's as simple as eating 3 times a day. For some people, that's not easy. For others, that's a little too easy. If that is too easy for you, I don't know. Different video. But make these smaller promises to yourself, because you owe it to yourself to show that you can and will see your promises through. Step 2, stop negotiating with yourself. Stop compromising on the promises you made. If you told yourself you're gonna drink a gallon of water a day, drink the entire gallon. Don't say, oh, at least I drank half. Okay, let's say someone owes you $100,000 and they only pay you 50. Hey, at least you got half the money. Think of it like that. Not everything has to be as cut and dry as that, but really see it through completion. That's what you owe to yourself, bare minimum. Keep a daily scorecard. Make it something visual. Whether it's 2 mason jars with 1 filled with marbles, every time you complete an action or goal, switch one of the marbles over to the other. Make it visible, make it easy to see, so you can see what you're doing. Because what really helps people like stick to their habits, stick to their discipline, or to stay disciplined in life rather, is to see the visual changes they're making. You may not see yourself waking up at 5 a.m. every day, but imagine you fill up the jar with marbles every day. You can see it. Eventually it'll start to spill over, and then you can say, wow, I did this. I was able to stay consistent with this. If you're able to stay consistent with something like that, you're able to do anything in life. Because like I said, you would not have a vision in your mind if you were incapable of doing it. God would not put it on your mind nor your heart if it's something you were incapable of seeing through. And lastly, keep a scorecard. Judge yourself based off of your actions and not your emotions. You can tell yourself, oh, I was going to, I wanted to, but talk is cheap. Me talking to you, like, these are just words. Whether you take them or not, that's on you. But if you implement them, if you base your actions around what I'm saying, then you'll be able to have something actionable. And that's something you can write down in a notebook, write down in the notes app on your phone. But it's something to hold yourself accountable to. But discipline is really just you telling yourself, hey, I got you. Everything I'm doing is for you. These steps are nothing if you don't have a vision in mind of what you're gonna be in life, what you wanna do in life. Because as long as you move forward with a goal in mind, you're good. Your goal could even be to enjoy the moment. Just like this, I'm sitting outside. Hopefully, no, not hopefully, one of you, many of you, everyone watching this will be motivated. And that's what I want. I want to inspire people. So if you're listening to this, shout out to you. It's the winner's circle. So yes, discipline is simply self-respect in action. How well do you respect yourself? A person who respects themselves will take all these steps that I've given you, will take this video to heart and use it in your everyday life. Stack up those small wins. Wins, small daily wins compound. Just like your high yield savings account, 1% daily, or, and be realistic, 3% annually. It adds up. I don't think that sounds right, but I don't care, because my message still stands. If you compound $100 by 1% daily, you're gonna have a pretty penny by the end of it. Even if you start off with a single penny, if it doubles every day, that's at least $1 million. I'm not doing the math because I'm talking to y'all, because that's how deeply I feel about this. But you can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. You just have to be disciplined enough to see it through. And that's the video for another day. But if you're still here, I love you. Keep watching, stay strong, and have a nice rest of your day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.